Hi everyone, welcome back to Capran Cottage. My name is Anne and thank you so much for being here. Today we have a podcast episode. I have so many things to share with you because this is, I think, technically a weekly. Normally I do one every month and I think this is one weekly, so it's been 5 weeks. So yeah, I have lots to share with you, and up front I have just a few little business things, and then we'll just get into the knits and all the fun projects and everything. First off, I just want to send another big thank you to my friends over on Patreon and just let you guys know that that's there. There is bonus content for paid members, but also I just wanted to put out the reminder that from now on, all knit along stuff will be happening over there. I think it will just be easier, and that will be accessible to free members. So yeah, Patreon has a semi-new feature of free memberships, and so if you'd like to join for free, I would love that. So yeah, you can stay up to date on everything that's going on. And on that note, our knit along is being postponed. It was supposed to start today on May 1st, the day you're seeing this, if you're watching it on the day of the release. But because of some yarn moving around the globe stuff, I don't have the yarn, and the yarn has not made it to its destination yet. So we're just waiting, and I don't have a start date yet. I am considering pushing it a whole month to June 1st. I think that will be the safest, but it could be a little bit sooner just depending on how things fall into place. So I wanted to keep you guys updated about that. Like I said, if you head over to Patreon, there will be just a little post saying that to all members, just so everybody knows and stays in the loop. But I wanted to make sure to put that here. And I'm really sorry. There's pretty much nothing I can do about it. And this is a big reason why I didn't share anything more about it, because when there's a lot of moving pieces, you never really know how things are going to fall or not fall into place. So I wanted to make sure that we had our bases covered, and for good reason, apparently. I also just want to say up front, it's allergy season. I feel like so many of you are going to relate to that. I'm going to try to keep my sniffling to a minimum. I have taken an allergy medicine today, but I'm still really sniffly. So I'm going to do my best, but bear with me. I feel like many of you will be sniffling right along with me. I really hope those are all of the announcements that I had for this video. I made a list. That doesn't mean I didn't forget something, but I'm trying. And yeah, I think then we can just kind of jump right into knits, which is probably why you're all here. I will start with what I'm wearing, and so you can see this is my Puri Shop cardigan. It's designed by Mary Jane Mucklestone. I made this last end of summer. And is this, I guess, yeah, this is technically my Rhinebeck sweater from last year. I still haven't decided if I'm going this year also, but I decided to show it to you. I made this in Pelote Lope. It's designed in Let Lope. But yeah, if you'd like more details, it's talked about in many past videos, and you can check it out on my Ravelry as well, and that will be linked below. Let's just start with finished objects. I have 2 pairs of socks to show you, which I'm really excited about. As I was pulling things together for this video, I was like, man, do I even have anything to show? And then I realized I had finished 2 pairs of socks. In the last maybe 2 weeks, knitting has been going really slowly for me in general. I think I mentioned this in one of my recent videos, but I've been so tired. I've been really exhausted. And one of you in the comments mentioned that it could be allergies. And so that was a couple weeks ago, and I wasn't having traditional allergy symptoms yet. Like, I wasn't itchy, runny nose, scratchy throat. I didn't have any of those symptoms yet. I was just feeling so tired. And then in the time since then, I have developed all of the other allergy symptoms. So I think that's definitely what's contributing to my fatigue. But that means I haven't been doing as much knitting as I normally would, because I knit normally at nighttime. Like, we put Feeny to bed around between 8 and 8:30 usually. We go upstairs and watch TV. Caleb usually falls asleep, and then I normally knit from maybe 9:30 until late, like midnight or later. I have not been doing that. I have just been like passing out, just like straight to sleep. So tired. I guess it's good that I'm catching up on my sleep, but yeah, my knitting is maybe not moving as quickly as normal because I just haven't really been awake to do it. I have been knitting a little bit like when I have free time during the day, but it's not the same. I don't know if you guys feel that way, but I feel like if I just do like a couple rows here and there, I don't make as much progress as sitting down for a chunk of like 3 hours or 2 hours of just knitting and not getting distracted. I'm never worried really about my like productivity or like my output in knitting anymore. Like I used to really kind of worried about that a lot, like making sure I had enough knits for content, and I don't really worry about that anymore. But for myself, I get a little sad sometimes when I don't have as much knitting time. And I just feel like this last week, there's just been some stressors in my life, and knitting really is one of those things that helps me regulate. And so, yeah, I've just been missing it. All of that is to say I've been missing it, and felt like I didn't have much to show you, but I do have something. I'll show you one pair of socks now, and those are my Trail Magic socks. These are a Summer-Lee design, a pretty new one she just came out with, and I'm obsessed with them. So you guys will have seen these before, but not completed. And these like maybe are one of my favorite things I've ever made. Which is saying something because I've made a lot of stuff. And I've made a lot of socks. They're definitely up there. I don't know if I love them more than my downstairs socks. I think those are still my #1 favorite pair of socks I ever made. But these are close. They're just so joyful and vibrant. I haven't worn them yet because I want to photo them before I wear them. They are an assortment of sock yarns. I can try to tell you where some of them are from. The main color is a spun right round color. And I recently went to a new to me yarn store. It's called Connected Stitches in Dryden, New York. It was beautiful for like a while now. You guys on here and like some of my friends like in person have been telling me I need to get there. But because of where we live, Dryden is a bit far for me. And I hadn't gotten out that way on a day that like I had time to stop there. But oh my gosh, her shop blew me away. It's like a dream come true. She has so many of my favorite yarns. She has Janice 2-ply jumper weight. She has a whole assortment of Icelandic yarn. She just had so much stuff. And anyway, what I was getting to was that she did have spun right round, and I love their dye work. I'm pretty sure they're local to New York State, but they're an indie dyer. I don't know the name of the person that runs it, but their dye work is very speckly, which I love in hand dyed yarns. And so yeah, now I have a place where I can buy it again because the store that I bought this at went out of business, I think last year, sadly. So yeah. That's a long way to tell you the main color. It's called Kewpie. That's this colorway. I don't know if they still do it because I bought this a few years ago. But the red is Let's Picnic from Little Lionhead Knits, my fave. Then there are colors from Frogget Yarns in here. There are colors from the Wool Room at Longmeadow Farm. Oh, I know there is one from Coats & Co. I just have bought an assortment of minis because I love colorwork socks. So I just have like a lot of minis, and at this point, the bands are lost from them or they were in sock sets. So this was a great scrappy project. And there's that other scrappy sock project that I really want to do sometime soon. Oh, what is it called? Hold on, I'll look it up really fast. Okay, I knew they were by Lindsay Fowler, but I couldn't remember the name of the pattern. So they're the piecework socks, and they were in Lina's 52 weeks of scrap knits, something like that. But I didn't buy that book, but this pattern is now out as an individual pattern. And yeah, I can't wait to use my scraps for them because I have so many. But I have so many other like socks to be in the queue before those. But these made me like think of that because it's the same, not the same at all actually, but you could use little bits for these as well. I highly recommend the pattern. It was so much fun. It was really like, it never got boring because you're switching between color work and cabling. And so if you get like a little sick of color work, then you're on to cables. The cable pattern is really easy to memorize and really easy to do. It has a heel flap and gusset, which is my preferred method. Though I have to say, like, I think I've only done, you know, a short row heel or a different style of heel once or twice. This is just the heel that I learned to do, so it's my favorite. I feel like it fits my foot really well. But yeah, so there's one finished project. My next finished project is another pair of socks, but these are not for me. This is the first pair of gift socks I have ever made. Normally I am too selfish to knit gift socks, especially because socks are a lot of stitches. It's easy to think, oh, well, socks are a tiny project, so it must not be too much knitting. But I feel like socks are like a comparable project to a medium, like small sized garment. These are a second pair of snowshoe socks. I made these for Caleb. It's so funny too because, here, I'll hold it back here, because they're for a man foot. They are huge. They just seem so big to me. And Caleb's like not that big of a guy and doesn't have like, I think he has, honestly, I don't really know. I think he wears like a size 10. I don't think he knows what size shoes he wears. But yeah, they just are so much bigger than my socks. And they kind of make me laugh, but I love them. I'm not letting him have them yet because I want to do a little photo shoot with us together in our snowshoe socks because mine are somewhere else, but I think it'd just be really cute. And he was really excited because he was like, do I get to model my socks for your pictures? I was like, yes, of course, I can't wear them. But I used 3 yarns for this. I used a hand-dyed sock yarn from Abercairn Yarns that I got when I was on vacation in Scotland. And then the orangey rusty color I held double for the cuff and the toe is a JNS colorway. I don't have it, but it's in my Ravelry. And then the blue held double for the rest of the sock is from Patton's. It's Patton's Croy Socks, and it is the color Cadet Colors. And I've always loved that Patton's Croy Sock. I feel like, I don't know, maybe it's, I don't know if everybody feels this way, but I feel this way. It's like the gateway sock yarn because it's the one you can get in a big box store. But I also, as I've become more familiar with sock yarns, I feel like it's actually a really good quality sock yarn, and it's very affordable. It's a little bit more heavyweight than many sock bases, but not significantly so. And I have 2 pairs of socks that I made myself with that, and they're some of my favorite socks. So I think it's a really good, affordable, easily accessible option to have a comfy pair of socks you made yourself. So those are my 2 finished, my 2 finished projects, just some socks. I promise this is not becoming 100% a sock knitting account, though I wouldn't be totally against it if it was. Then I have 2 whips, and then I thought I'd just chat about a couple little things that I'm like dreaming of in my mind. The first thing I have is my Drevo pullover designed by Teti Lutzak. I am making this in Peace Fleece DK, and I'm making some progress. I'm going to preempt this by saying that it's a little chaotic right now. There's a lot of different cables and yarns, and so things might be a little crazy. But I think I've made pretty huge progress since I showed you guys last. So I finished, yeah, see my yarn is trying to escape. Okay, that's better. But I finished the center panel, the like rectangular center panel, and all the ribbing that came along with that. I think that's what I was telling you about the last time we spoke about this, was that it's a lot of 1x1 ribbing. So if you don't like that, that's your fair warning. it kind of hasn't been bothering me as much as it normally would, I feel like. Generally I hate ribbing, but I think I hate ribbing in like small things like socks or hats or things like that. But on this, it's, you know, I have bigger needles. There's more space. It doesn't bother me so much. But then the next thing you do is there's, oh dear, a back extension of more ribbing. Surprise, surprise. So I finished that, and that's here. It's this, what is this? About 4 inches of ribbing, just back and forth. And then you do a garter stitch panel. It's like just a line, so you can see that here along the shoulder. And then you do 2 little bits of, here you go. It's in stockinette, but then you do short row shaping to kind of get that, I would call it like an armhole curve. And then you do a 3 needle bind off here. So I did that. And then you pick up for your sleeves, which isn't even that much picking up. You just have to pick up a few in the arm, underarm. But so I'm working on a sleeve right now. I was going to start doing the garter section, oh boy, along, I can't even really show you, but along this edge. But then I decided I think I should just finish the first sleeve first. I still haven't totally decided if I'm going to stick to that, because right now there's 2 balls of yarn attached to this. One is still attached to the back. Oh, it's starting to rain. But one is still, this is still attached to the back extension. I think I should put this like in a sock or something, this ball of yarn, so it stops rolling away from me. It's like really raining. I know it was supposed to rain today, but Caleb told me it wasn't going to start. Like it wasn't supposed to start until 4 p.m. It's 12:30, so surprise. It seems like the light is okay. I don't know if you guys can hear it. I think we're just going to continue on because this is the only time I have to film this. But yeah, so I would really like to remove a ball of yarn from this, or some of these cables, just something to kind of have less chaos, because even now I'm having a hard time showing it to you. I'm going to show you just one time of how it looks. So it's kind of becoming sweater shaped. It's going to be like this. And the fit seems so good, and I'm just loving everything about this. Like I said, I feel like I'm going really slowly, but I'm having so much fun. I love the yarn, of course. This piece fleece is so soft. It's so beautiful. Every time I work on it, if I'm working in a different light, like a different time of day, I swear the yarn is a different color. The pattern has been so much fun. It's so unique and different, and I feel a little out of my element because of that, but at the same time, because it's so clearly written, I haven't had any problems yet. I mean, knock on wood. Hopefully I do not manifest any problems, but so far it's been going really well. And there's just been so much variety that I think it's been really fun. You know, there's ribbing, there's cables, there's garter stitch, there's stockinette, there's working flat, there's working in the round. Yeah, so it's very entertaining. It's been really fun. I can't wait to wear it. I feel like as soon as I'm done, it's going to be summer. And then I won't be able to wear it till the fall. But that's my Drevo update. And my other work in progress, that is in my little M.A.B.L.E maker caddy. Oh yeah, this one was in my homemade project bag with my Addie Best patch. But this is in my M.A.B.L.E maker caddy. I don't know if this is, I always say I can never remember if this is a medium or a large size. This is the Pete shawl designed by Janelle Storsund. And I've just been slowly working away on it. It's now this big. And this has become my Feeny walking project. So when we go out for a walk, I've been taking this with me and just doing a few rows. I'm making this in Einband, Iztex Einband. So it's Icelandic wool, and the color I'm using is 0853. I happen to have one here, so I could tell you. Oh, did I mention that the piece fleece is the color Morning Dove? just in case. But also, again, please go to my Ravelry if you're looking for more details. It's more likely to be correct. But yeah, this is so far a really simple shawl shape. It's just has one row of yarn over increases at the center every other row. And then eventually I will pick up here to make like wrap arms, but I'm not there yet. So I feel like I don't have that much to share about this project. It's nice and simple. The only thing I will say is that, of course, I just love handling the Icelandic yarn. The Icelandic wool feels so good. And I'm just so curious to see how and what this becomes. I love the idea of this being kind of a more like summer shawl. I can tell it's going to be really small, like you're going to be able to put it in a bag easily. So I think it'd be a great thing to have if you're going to be out in the evening, or even maybe to keep the sun off to some extent. It's pretty fuzzy, so maybe not. But yeah, that's just it's been so fun to go out with her and stroll around and have a project to work on, because I can just put this on my arm and knit away while she eats grass, because now the grass is growing here. So yeah, it feels like spring is here. We're having actual April showers right now in the last few days of April. Yeah, so then I thought I would just quickly chat about some upcoming stuff. I can't remember if I talked to you guys about the outline tee yet or not, but that's probably going to be my next garment cast on. So that'll be sooner or later. But I'm also, I'm like dreaming of, I guess I should just tell the story. This isn't too long yet. I only have a couple more things to show you. Oh, I have so many books to talk about though. But when I went to Connected Stitches, I bought some Briggs & Little Heritage. She didn't have sweater quantities of the colors I wanted, but I ordered some. And I'm now like dreaming of making some kind of sweater in that now. And I kind of want to revisit my plan of making Dovetail by Olga Putano. But I also am sort of dreaming of a Baba-esque maybe cardigan or pullover. I don't know. So this is my request to you guys to, if you have any suggestions, some patterns I'm like thinking about. The Lakes pullover or jacket by Ozetta. The Eun sweater, E-U-N, like I talked about that before, Dovetail. So I'm thinking of something like oversized and boxy, but maybe cropped or maybe not. I don't know. I just am like dreaming of something really cozy and kind of bulky. And yeah, it would have to be in a like between heavy worsted to Aran weight, because that's like where the Briggs & Little falls. Because now I have 2 sweater quantities of it. I'm really embarrassed to say that, but the price was so right and I loved the colors. The 2 colors I got, I would show them to you. They're right over there, but I'm not going to get up. I do talk about them more in my Patreon exclusive, so little plug there if you're interested in joining at the $7 tier. You do get a bonus video every single month, and I talk about it more there. But the 2 colors I got are copper and sheep's gray, so you can look those up and see. But yeah, so that's something I'm thinking of, which makes absolutely no sense at this time of year. Like, why would you make an Aran weight sweater in May or June? But I can't be stopped. And then I just have one other quick project to talk about that I think is going to be my next accessory cast on. Because besides the peach shawl, that's such a casual project. Like, I don't care if I finish it. Like there's no deadline at all. It's just like for fun when I want mindless knitting. But I'm going to cast on new socks. So I think I've showed you before the colors for this, but I'll show you again quickly. I made the 1 pair of the rucksack socks out of Rambler from the Woolly Thistle, and I have another skein that was kindly gifted to me. And this one, it's this here, and this color is Winter Sky. And so I want to make another pair of rucksack socks with this, and then this would be my Lang reinforcement thread color reinforcement for the heels and toes. And so they're going to be orange and blue. So that's going to be my next sock cast on. Part of me feels like maybe I will reward myself with that cast on if I get all my work done today and tomorrow, because we are going to the farmer's market for the first time on Saturday, and I think these would be a really good farmer's market project. I could obviously bring in, any of these are now at a stage where they'd be totally fine to bring along, because the Drevo, I'm just working in the round for the sleeve. The Pete is obviously mindless anyway, and then a sock. I always like to take a sock places with me. So those are kind of my plans. I have, obviously I'm looking at them. I have so many projects. I have the yarn, I have the pattern, they're in a bag together that I could just grab and go. But because I haven't been knitting so much, I haven't like been working through things, but I'm just trying to follow my creative lead in life lately, and I think it's been really good. I have been working on sort of redecorating my kitchen, so that's been a really fun, non-knitting related creative endeavor. We have like legitimate renovation things we need to do in there. There's tile work, the floor needs to be redone, we need to paint, but I feel like I was letting all of those things hold me back from decorating it and making it more of a cozy space how I wanted it to be. And then I just realized there are no rules. That's what I always have to remind myself. And that I could decorate it, and even if we have to take it all down to paint, it doesn't matter. So yeah, I think now I'm just gonna quickly get into books. I will preface this by saying that I have been reading a ton. I don't know why, I'm just like in this really great reading jam right now. I will also say that I don't have most of the books physically right now. I have passed them on to other readers already. Normally I try to hang on to them for filming, but I ended up seeing both of my parents recently and deciding I should just give them to them now. But the first book I finished is The Changeling by Victor Lavalle, and I showed you guys that the last podcast, and that book was great. It was a 5 stars for me. I love his writing. I've talked about that before. It's obviously scary-ish. I mean, I think it's scary. There is violence. There's that sort of stuff. So it's just kind of a little warning. But it's also really real. And I think he tackles a lot of very common and relatable life experiences in a sort of more abstract way. But that's also very relatable. But so that was another, I just loved it. That's now my 3rd book from him that I've read. And of course I look forward to reading the rest of them. There's a few more. But it was great. It was beautifully written and just so many different pieces. But I've since given it to my dad. I feel like I could read it again and still absorb more. I feel that way about all of the books of his I've read. The next one I read was Wild Dark Shore by Charlotte McConaghy, and that's been obviously super popular this last year. I've been dying to read it, and that book. I feel like I read a lot of really sad books, and I'm taking a break from that. But that book is great. Highly recommend. It's very atmospheric. I feel like it's a little bit abstract, and it is sad. Like, don't think it's a happy tale. Because I don't know what I expected, but yeah, I don't know. I don't know what I expected, but it was somehow what I expected and not what I expected at the same time. But it's so moody and atmospheric. Like, you really feel present. And I feel like it has a very poignant message. I'm trying not to give away too much. I'll just move on. The next one, I would say, I don't remember what I rated that, but it was up there. I think I probably gave it 5. But the next book is called Almost Life by Kiran, Millwood, Hargrave. I'll make sure these are all listed in the description so you can find them. But I got that through Book of the Month, and I think that was March's selection. And it might have been one of my favorite books I've read in a really, really long time. It hit me again, so heartbreakingly sad, but also in a very real way. It has pretty mixed reviews, and I've seen a lot of reviews saying that the audiobook is really not good, so I don't really listen to audiobooks, but if you do, maybe that one isn't a good choice. Like, people were saying that the narrator would like they just didn't like the narrator. So I don't know. I didn't listen to the audiobook, so I can't really attest, but fair warning. It was just a beautiful book. It's called Almost Life, and the whole theme is sort of about the chances not taken in life. And that's a theme that I feel like I've been sort of fascinated with for my whole adult life. The idea of how like one small choice can obviously change your future forever. And sometimes the way that what may feel like a missed opportunity can sort of plague you and haunt you with the like what ifs and the trying to recapture whatever you didn't choose, I guess is a better way to put it. So yeah, that book, so good, so moving. Yeah, it's about two women that meet and fall in love, and just a kind of the way that their life progresses, both together and apart. But highly recommend that one. The next book I read was another book of the month selection. I think this was the April one, but it was What Am I, a Dear by Polly Barton. And I was really intrigued by this because she is the translator for the book Butter, which I have and haven't read yet. I'm dying to read it. But this is her first novel, and I was just super intrigued by it. It's a unique book. I mean, I loved it, but it's definitely a little different. I feel like her writing style is pretty unique. It's very much like stream of consciousness. And so it took me a little while to adjust to her writing style, but in the end I really liked it. And it's funny and sort of random, but also I think a great portrait of like being inside someone's head. It felt very relatable in that way. So I enjoyed that one as well. I feel like I have been pretty lucky so far this year. I haven't had any books that I just really disliked. And generally I don't. I feel like I'm pretty good at choosing for myself. Like I know what I will and won't like. Occasionally something I miss the mark and I just like don't like it. But I've been pretty lucky so far. The next one I do have, which is this. I got this last fall from Book of the Month. This is Plain Ice by Rachel Harrison. And I've never read any of her books before. I know that she's quite popular. But this was, I would say, advertised as a haunted house story. And it is. There is a haunted house, but this is so much more about family dynamics. Yeah, and complex family dynamics. The writing style was a little young for me. I feel like the main character is an influencer, and I feel like at first I didn't like it, I guess I should say. Like I didn't like the way that she spoke and she was written and her thoughts and stuff, but then I started to kind of get it and get into it, but I felt a little old, I guess I'll say, reading it. And it was good, it was spooky, but I feel like this is not, like it wasn't about the horror as much to me as it was about interpersonal and family dynamics. And yeah, just the way that our youths and our childhood affect us and our relationships with others, and the way that truth and the manipulation of the truth or other people's version of the truth can affect things, I guess. It's always so hard to give reviews without giving things away. But it was pretty good. I would say, between 3 and 4 stars. A generous 4. Like, I wouldn't read it again, but I didn't dislike it. Okay, next. Oh my goodness. I bought this. I went out and I went to some local bookstores. And so, of course, I bought a few books. But this I've been dying to read. This is The Emporium by Olga Tokarczuk. I hope I say her name right. But she also wrote the book Run Your Plow Over the Bones of the Dead, which I loved. I read that a few years ago now, and I'm starting to see it like come back around. But she's an incredible writer. I'm pretty sure... Yeah, she's Polish, and she is a Nobel Prize winner, and I think a Booker. Yes, she has won the International Booker Prize as well, so she's an exceptional writer. This book, again, this is advertised as a horror story, but it's kind of not. I mean, it is, and it is scary, and there's this like constant apprehensive feeling. Again, so atmospheric, so moody, but it's so much more about misogyny, gender identity, so like more like that kind of stuff than like it's literally says a health resort horror story. That's what it says on the front. And like, yes, scary, fantastical things do happen, but I don't know. I thought it was exceptional. This was great. But again, if you're looking for like a spooky horror story, I mean, except for that the reality of life is horrifying, it's not like your traditional horror story, which I feel like is such a theme here. I feel like between The Changeling, this, and Plain Ice, they're all horror stories that are not really about horror, but more about like the horrors of reality, which maybe that's what the whole horror genre is about all the time. I don't know. There's a whole conversation I feel like I could have there about that and how it's just like a reflection of humanity. Like the horror genre is a reflection on humanity and all of the horrors that are in the world, but we perceive them as monsters as opposed to reality. Whatever. I feel like you guys get me. You know what I'm talking about. But yeah, it was a lot more deep than I expected it to be. Not that I expected less from her, but I just didn't see it coming, I guess. It was great. I highly recommend. What else have I got? I have to keep looking at my list because there are so many. Oh yes, so I finished all of the World of the White Rat books by T. Kingfisher. I read The Clockwork Boys, The Wonder Engine, and Swordheart. I thought the sequel to Swordheart was out, which is called Daggerbound, because I've seen photos of the cover kicking around, but it is not out yet. So that was a little heartbreaking when I realized that, but it's coming soon. But I just love them. I love the world. I thought they were all good. It was really interesting to read the Clockwork Boys and the Wonder Engine, because I feel like they I think were the first ones. Maybe, I don't know which order they were written in, but you can tell how she's fleshed out the world over time. It's been fun, I think, to read them all. So I highly recommend, and I'm really looking forward to reading her other books. I think one of you recommended Nettle and Bone, which I'm dying to read. She has a new one out that I think is called Nine Goblins, which also dying to read. And like I said, Daggerbound is coming, so I'm really excited to continue reading her work. I just finished a book this morning. I can't be stopped. It is called The Borrow a Bookshop Holiday, and it's by Kiley Dunbar. And I read some of her books before. They're I'm not gonna be able to find it, but it's like the Highland Repair Shop series. They're cute romance books. And I didn't know she had other series. I thought those were her only books, but she has a ton more books. So I just read that one, and it was cute. I'll talk more about it as I talk. I have 2 more other books I'm in progress on, but like I said, I read a bunch of really sad books. Like that Olga Tokarczuk book is pretty sad as well. And yeah, I just feel like I was reading a lot of sad stuff, and then like our cat got sick. He's okay for now. Don't worry about that. But like, there's just been some kind of things that have been making me a little down, I guess. And like this whole allergy thing has been really annoying. So I was starting to feel kind of bummed out. And so I just felt like I needed some happy reads, some things that were a little bit less serious. So yeah, I just finished that, and it was really cute. I really liked the premise. It's that there is a bookshop that you can sign up to to operate, and you get to be there for 2 weeks and operate the bookshop and the cafe, and then of course there's a romantic plot. But I'm pretty sure there's actually a bookshop in Scotland that does that, and that sounds like such a dream. Oh my gosh. Of course there's obviously Shakespeare and Company, but that's different. But yeah, my next book I got from her because it sounds so good. It's called Summer at the Highland Coral Beach. And yeah, it's another cutie romance. Now that I know she has more books, I'm really excited to read them. And the 3rd Highland Repair Shop romance, I think, is coming out today. On the day you're seeing this, I think it comes out on May 1st. And her books are really inexpensive on Kindle. The most I've paid is $5.99. So if you're looking for like a cute kind of fluffy romance read that's set in the UK, I really recommend her books. They're not like anything, they're not going to win the Nobel Prize, but They're really cute. They're happy. They're fun. She picks great settings and great ideas. And then I have 2 more. So I think I showed this before, the Vanishing Cherry Blossom Bookshop. Maybe I only showed it on Patreon, I can't remember, but I got this as a $5 book at Barnes & Noble in the cafe because it's so cute. Oh my gosh, and it sounded so cute. But this is what I was reading. I'm about halfway done. Of course, I'll finish. Like I said, I was feeling a little sad, and this book was just making me more sad. And so I kind of had to switch gears a little, but it's about a bookshop that only appears during the cherry blossom season. And it's, let's see, you will find a sanctuary for those burdened by regrets and past sorrows. And it's sort of about like how people are healed through books and through the bookshop, which I guess that sounds sad, right? I should have known that it was going to be a little sad, but I just felt a little overwhelmed by it. So I actually started reading this, which has been on my shelf for ages. It's called In the Company of Witches. It's a cozy mystery by Auralee Wallace. And there's a second one to this, and she has another book that I really want to read. No, I can't remember what it's called, but it's another like witchy themed cozy book. But this is super cute. I love these like magical cozy mysteries. And I'm also about halfway done with this one. So it's super, again, like not amazing literature, but I just needed a little break, I think. And yeah, so I love that reading can be mentally stimulating and also like a cozy escape when you need it. I think that's kind of the beauty of it. I think that's everything I have to share today. I feel like I got through it at a reasonable pace, especially because there were so many books. So if I went really fast through those books, that's why, because there just were, how many? 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, there's like 12 books. That's ridiculous. I've never read that. Well, as a teenager, I read this much, but as an adult, I don't know, I've just been cruising through them. Maybe that's why my knitting has suffered a little bit too. I promise this is not becoming a book, what do they call it? Booktube. I was going to say Bookstagram, but that's on Instagram. This is fully a fibercraft channel. Pardon the feeding noises. It's pretty much time for me to sign off, I think. But yeah, if you guys could give this video a thumbs up, that would really help me out. I don't know if I've done something to displease the algorithm, but my videos just haven't been shown very much lately, which is fine. Those of you that are here, I appreciate you so, so much. But if you are here, if you could leave a like and a comment if you feel so inspired, and please consider subscribing if you haven't yet. I would just really, really appreciate that. And yeah, as always, what are you knitting on? Do you have any fun like summer plans now that we're getting into spring? How is spring treating you? We are doing all kinds of springy things. I want to be spending even more time outside, but you know, all torn in all the different directions at this time of year. So yeah, I'd just love to hear from you guys. Like I said, consider heading over to Patreon. You can join for free. If you're looking for me elsewhere, I am on Instagram, I am on Goodreads, I am on Ravelry, and you can find all of those things and many other things linked below. And yeah, keep your ears and eyes open for Cal updates. Like I said, they'll be over on Patreon. It's been really fun getting to know you guys over there and have another like more quiet outlet a little bit. And yeah, I think that's all I have for you today. Thank you again. Thank you so much for being here and joining me. And we're going to talk really soon. I will hopefully see you next week with something else, something different. We'll talk real soon. Bye.